Hey guys, this is Dolores. Today let's have a lesson about Chinese culture. 今天是清明节。清明节 the Tomb Sweeping Festival. It's a day for Chinese people to worship their ancestors. You know, last week I went back to my hometown to join this activity. And we went to the tomb yard of my grandparents. So what do we do on this day? Is it the same as other holidays in other countries about dead people? So we know there are a lot of festivals in the world about the deceased people. And, Halloween, we dressed up like other people or other things, and also have some fun games for kids such as trick or treat. And in Mexico, there is the Day of the Dead, and they celebrate the reunion of their family. But in China, we have at least two festivals about deceased people. The first one is today, the Tomb Sweeping Festival, 清明节. On this day, we clean up the tomb for our ancestors and also give them sacrifice to give them supplies. For example, on this day, we go to the mountain where the tomb yard is and we go find their tomb. We sweep their tomb, make it cleaner, make it nicer, put on some decorations like little flowers, and also we put on the sacrifice. So in northern China, we put 3 kinds of fruits and 2 kinds of desserts there. And in southern China, some areas they put meat as sacrifice. For example, I've seen people put a whole head of pig in front of the tomb. So we all have different cultures, different customs. It depends on where you go. And we believe we are living in 2 kinds of world. If you know about Chinese culture, you must have heard this word, yin, yang. And we also have 2 worlds named after it, like Yangjian. Yangjian is the place we live, like the living people live. And Yinjian is the underworld. That's where the deceased people go. And we believe incense and fires can make a connection between these 2 worlds. So when we put on the sacrifice, we usually light up 3 incense. Incense, they can burn for like a set period of time. And during this process, our ancestors can feel the sacrifice. They can eat them. We believe they can eat them. And also, we can talk to them. For example, we can tell them, oh, what's going on? I just found a new job and moved to Beijing, blah, 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 and I'm really good. And I hope you guys enjoy a good life there. So this is a time for us to communicate, not mutually, but maybe mutually that we couldn't hear them. Besides the sacrifice, we also will burn some money for our ancestors or deceased ones in your family. This money is not the real currency, it's not RMB, but we can buy them in all these shops which selling, stuff like this. I'm not sure if you have seen this kind of money. I'll put a picture here. You see there is an emperor. That's the emperor of the other world. And currencies, they all come from banks. So you can see the bank name. It's like a 天地银行, like the heaven and ground bank. So it means, these are real currencies for the underworld. And we burn them. You can see how many zeros there, I'm not sure about the currency rate, but as many as possible. So they just add a lot of zeros there. And we give our ancestors this money so they can go buy things they like. And some people, they don't want to just burn money. They also want to burn other things. They want their ancestors to use the most updated digital things. For example, iPhone, iPad, or other things like TVs, a house, like cars, Teslas, but they're not real. These kind of shops, they can make all these kind of objects with paper, and sometimes they look real. Some people when they died but they're single, they can even burn like a paper made like a girlfriend or boyfriend. It's not, you can burn anything for people in the underworld. So usually you burn them in this tomb yard. But what if you are far away from the tomb yard and you also want to worship them? So I'm not sure if you've seen people doing this. You can find a road, like a crossing of the road on the pedestrian. You can find a crossing, and then you use the stick to draw a circle, and you will burn the money in this circle. Because we believe crossings are people who walk every day, and sometimes ghosts might go there too, so they can easily get the money. But like it's a random place, maybe your ancestors couldn't get it. So you will buy this kind of form from, stores who's selling the underworld money, and write your ancestor's name on it. Like, dear someone, and this is the money for whom and from whom, So we can do this on a crossing. So sometimes you saw people burning things on street. They're not just for warmness. Just get away from them. Like, don't get closer, because you don't know who is around. Yeah. And also, I don't think we are allowed to do that these years because it's had a really bad impact on the air. So I don't think the big cities are allowed to do that anymore. But it's just old way of people doing things. And why do we do this? So sometimes we believe if our ancestors can live a better life in the underworld, that will have a good impact on us. If they're living happily there, they can help us, like let their love cover us. Sometimes if we met any obstacles in life, we have troubles, we tend to ask for help from them, and we also can do this process. Like, no matter which day is that, we don't have to do it on the tomb sweeping festival, but you can see people do it sometime, like random time in a year. So this is the first festival I mentioned related to deceased people in China. There is another one. That one I don't think we ever celebrated because it's a festival for all the ghosts to come back to this Yangjian, this human world. They can come back and maybe visit people they know in their living time. So on this day, we don't go out. We just stay at home. Just don't go out on that day. Yeah, especially at night. I don't know much about that festival because I was warned when I was young, like, don't go out on that day. But I think this day is more similar to Halloween or the Day of Death in Mexico because, ghosts come back. Yeah, but we are really scared of that because we don't know what kind of, thing we'll encounter with. So we are not allowed to go out. And that day is on the 15th day of the 7th month on lunar calendar. Yeah. So these are the two festivals related to deceased people in China. And as I said before in my previous videos, Tomb Sweeping Festival is really important for me because I was away from China for too long and I didn't have any chance to come back on this day. So after maybe 10 years, I can finally join this activity with my family and send the 阴间钱, the money for the underworld, to my grandparents and other deceased family members. And I love them so much. I just feel, I feel different. I'm not sure if you can feel that kind of different because once I walked into this tomb yard, I feel pressure. But as soon as, find a connection with them, you light the incense and you just feel that peace, that moment you just want to enjoy with them. Yeah. So I love my family a lot and I wish you guys all have a very nice day today. So what is the custom in your country? Do you have this kind of festivals? Comment down below and tell me. I'll be really grateful to hear your answers. Thanks for watching. This is Learn Chinese with Dolores. So today we learned 清明节, 清明节, 阳间, 阳间, and 阴间, 阴间. Not many words. But I think most of these words are not that useful, so I will just teach you the 3 1. Alright, thank you, bye bye.